You're ready.
All right, go ahead and start it.
It's ready.
Oh, it's running. Okay. Lisa, look at these cables. These are battery cables. We found out our Rogator had some bad batteries, so I'm not mad at anybody because they are original batteries, but we hook them up here. Then it got to the point where it wouldn't start, and we had checked it out. We had a dead cell. When one battery's dead, you need two, because as soon as you change the one, the other one will go bad and it messes up the other battery, type of thing. Just in case you want to know what this is, I didn't either, but it's a toolbox. There's an extra water vent to wash it out, so we're keeping these hay testers. And basically, these are density weight scales. And you know, we're all learning how to run this, me and Kevin both. I've worked with Fertilizer in this for 15 years, and I've been using it now for 40. So I also have a Laurel pull type airflow that I was working with. The problem with that was the machine is extremely heavy and really took a big tractor. It would have been, I was wanting to put a bigger harrow behind it. It's for sale, it's in the shed, it's and we rebuilt it, but we didn't stick too much into it because we didn't know if the main components would work. It's there. We got the augers to work, the booms to work, but we put some, basically these fins on the end of it. We used conventional metal. We had a guy that was able to whip them out really cheap for us and put them on there. And that's what we did. And basically that's with regular metal. You got to have stainless steel on it. So we do have a pull type Laurel airflow that runs off a PTO. It's old. It's probably close to 40 years old on it, and it's kind of got a mobility box for it. It ain't got no cover on it, and I really feel that these Fertilizer buggies and these machines should have a cover on it. We got too much money stuck in this box and what have you being on there. These are floater tires to go across the ground. We don't want it to mire down any more than we have to. But when we get into top dressing corn over there, Lisa,
There's tires?
Yeah. We had one bad tire on our machine, and I was able to find another good used one. And that good used one was reasonable because I bought new tires for my combine. I won't talk about how much they cost, but they cost as much as my first used combine. My son came up with a jack to change this or seen this, and then we kind of worked it together, and then we had somebody to build it, and Kevin painted it and put it together. We stick a hydraulic jack in there, and the man got the idea. We put the hitch pin in there. So basically this bottom hole is 1 inch, and the one above here is a 1/2 inch, so we can move this up and down and have safety to change these wheels. So this is what these are the tires that will go between the corn rows to top dress corn with nitrogen. And that's part of what I'm wanting to get this video out. We're looking for work to top dress our corn or whatever being there. There we're going to just pay attention, not get on the roll, but we got GPS on here, and we got a way that I think Lisa you showed the map moving on the field.
Yes, I did.
So I'm going to have you get out here in the sun so you can really sweat, Lisa, to see what's going on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so go ahead and go with that. I want to thank the people that's letting me use this Humahance in that part. This is the main thing, and actually I've been switching around back and forth doing different things. The field that we just came from here today, that the alfalfa was up without a rain. I put the carbon down with the potash. We didn't put any of the Humahance on because I didn't know how. I wanted to make sure the spreader could work, and I just put potash in, and we needed a lot of it out there. And so we put the carbon in, and that carbon goes in the micronutrient box, so I can't use the alfalfa seed in there. at the same time. I put the alfalfa seed in it. As we've been working it, we realized that we can get down to 5 pounds an acre with alfalfa seed. We ran a little bit short. We wanted to get it on before it rained. It never rained. Doug Bastian is our representative for our company with Alforex. Called him up the next day. We had alfalfa seed here. As long as it's there in their warehouse, they can get it out to you the next day, or about 2 days. We called Friday, so it showed up Tuesday morning, and that's pretty good service. You know, you can't complain on the weekend part of it. I also asked for some new signs, so we're going to put this out on Route 4 because this is the new seed that we're using. Doug helped me pick that out. Thank you, Doug Bastian. I appreciate it. Monty's Fertilizer with the Humahants. I held off on putting the Humahants in this load because we put potash and phosphate down, and I'm plowing it and working it in now. And so we're seeing what works the best. The thing of it is, when you got a field like that, we went to the service company and we found out how much would fit on the machine there, and then we put the rest on it. So if we cut back on some of the fertilizer and stuff, we're trying to see how much we can, you know, to get on. And I left the Humahants off of this oats and fertilizer batch because I put it on there. I figured I'd get the potash. The potash is 0060 potassium chloride, so 40% of it's salt, and that's what kills the ground or hurts the bacteria in the ground part of it. But we need potash with the soil right that we did on the other. See if I get this name here on there. We'll pull these samples out here in a little bit and show how they do. Soil Test Pro. For some reason, my brain just can't say that right now. But Soil Test Pro, we did the soil samples. It was low on potash. So we put a lot of it on, and that's why I wanted to get that on some of but it's definitely with the alfalfa coming up, the Humahants mixed with the seed. Well, it wasn't mixed on the alfalfa seed. It was mixed on the oats. I did put some of this on a test spot where I took a paper towel and tested the germination, and I used the Humahants. It didn't hurt it. Humahants is not organic because it's got 1% total urea nitrogen and ammonitical nitrogen, it says on there. Forgive me, I can't read it right. But anyhow, there's 1% guaranteed nitrogen in it. That's not organic, but otherwise the humus is. The dry carbon, to the best of my knowledge, I believe it is organic. And that also frees up the salt and stuff in the soil and gets more water capability being there. And it's got humic acid in it as well. So this is all important. So we're really pushing these products. I used a lot of this last year. I had excellent results on the beans. This is the first time I'm doing it. We are going to do test plots with our corn. When we get into top dressing, we're going to put this on because this will help eliminate the fertilizer burn if it gets in the whirl of the corn. And we will find out one way or the other on that part. I am going to go up here and take some samples of the alfalfa seed. And it's a lot of work to carry that up there. And so I opened the bags up here, and to save time, I pre-opened this bag of Alforex on top of the screen. Lisa, can you come over here and grab this one?
Sure.
They cost $50 and I don't want to drop it and break it.
No.
Oh. Okay, these are fertilizer density scales. Can you get to that? Mm-hmm. So we got this one.
Got it.
And we got this one. And we had some issues where some stuff wasn't coming out, and we realized, well, what was the problem? Is it the machine or is it our brain? Do we have the right mount put in program? But this is very important, and going with it. So this one here has got a, can you see this, Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The level?
Yeah. And this is important with every airflow or commodity box seed. This has got a level on it. So I got to hold it out here until it's level. I think I got to go this way if the bubble part. Mm-hmm. I'm half a bubble off. Not really, but I mean, this density scale thing is. Not too much that way. Okay, and this mark here, and you got to really pay attention here on this. And we are looking for pounds per cubic foot. And this says 50, that's 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 hash marks. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in the middle. So this is 55 pounds per cubic foot with this one. Okay. This one here. And another thing too, don't reach out here and grab it because you can break this thing off. Don't drop it because you'll break this off. But I like this one better because it says the same thing here. And you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds or so. But this one, and I'm going to go and kind of guess like 55 pounds. But this is so much simpler to be. Now, since I knew it was already 50, but I'm going to show it like if it's off. You got to move it over. Yeah, so here's 55. That's 53. That's why it ain't right. I get right in the middle. When it gets further out, you kind of notice the marks are closer together. Okay, well anyhow, both of these the same. So there is a purpose for me bringing this up because the learning curve for everybody being on there. You got your pen? Yeah, I need your pen. So when we get this fertilizer, imagine it already got twisted up already. Mm-hmm. This is what we are going to put in the big box, which is potash and phosphate and ammonia sulfate. Putting 125 pounds on of the ammonia sulfate, which is this number here is 21% nitrogen. On the DAP is 18. So when you have your fertilizer here for nitrogen, N, P, and K. The N is the nitrogen, the P is the phosphate, and the K. And when you have 1846O here, that means it's got, in 100 pounds, it would have 18 units, 46 units of phosphate, no potash. Now I only got 75 pounds an acre, so that's only a third of that part of it. So that would be about 14 units of nitrogen that I have here with 75 pounds in it. And this here is about 34 pounds of phosphate, because I'm doing this math in my head, and then there's no potash. I just want to get a little potash up on the ground there, so I didn't have no micro hunts on it. And then a 21 and then the last number here, it's got the 24S is sulfur. I found that oats like a lot of sulfur. The reason we need more sulfur is we don't have no air pollution. When we used to burn all this high sulfur coal and it rained, we had plenty of sulfur. Well, we're not burning coal anymore, and now we need sulfur. We got to buy it. So I think, forgive me, the idea of not having coal mines working and getting cheaper power, I don't think that was all the problem of pollution on there, because we needed some of that pollution to curb global warming, because that kept the sunlight hitting there, and it's a lot safer than the nano aluminum particles that the government is spreading out there. My opinions here have nothing to do with Alforex or any other company. I want people to go out and investigate that. Like, what am I talking about? Find a website, Geoengineering Watch, and look at it. You'll realize there's something not quite right, and this is why I bought this machine, to educate people when things don't work right. There's something else going on, and we need to investigate. And so that's my point on that. But getting back to the nitrogen, well, we got 125 pounds there, and what I'm trying to do on this batch, we're doing each field a little bit different. We got too much alfalfa seed on one field because he read the density wrong for pounds. So we've got 55 pounds on the alfalfa seed. So I'm going to write here in big numbers, 55 pounds of density. So my son don't put that. Now we're going to sow 30 pounds an acre. So I'm going to write, so 30 pounds. This little square mark up here means pounds. And if the pen don't write, because my hands are there. So we're going to be sowing 30 pounds on there. We got 10 acres. There's 50 pounds to a bag. That's 6 bags. I happen to have 7 bags left. I want to have some extra seed on
This?
Yeah, this is it. This is the Alforex 469, and that's the seed. It's got some treatment on it, and that we need to have that on it. We need to get that seed to grow. And I always get treated seed. I feel like it's well worth the money. They don't rob you for the making the inoculant and the stuff on it for the weight. They take that off of the weight, so you're paying for the seed, not the inoculant. The inoculant's on there, so I'm getting that part across, you know, there right now. So we've got that measured out. Sometimes with all this fancy stuff and a little bit of wind, you notice how much time it took to kind of double check and move that little thing back and forth there. But we got both of them to see which would work best. Because if the density is off 2 pounds, it's going to make a big difference how that spreads. So we need to take a lot of time to make sure it's right. And every time we put seed in here, or every batch, we need to do that, because the humidity, or where the fertilizer's been sitting in the shed, if it was cold, you bring it out, it sweats. We had one day, it was, when we did all that, it was really, the fertilizer was wringing wet. And that's why when we put it on this fertilizer spreader, we want to get it off, because we don't want it to set up or sweat or get, we got a job to do, we want to get it done. So once it gets loaded, it's going to get spread. And today is probably the only time it ain't going to immediately do that, because I'm going to let my son spread it.
20 minutes.
That's okay on this one, because we're selling right now.
Oh, okay.
So anyhow, that part of it, forgive us for being a little bit more time on this video here. Lisa informed me on that part of it. I'm going to take the seed and dump it out to show you how we do it with the potash, and I'm just going to take this one. Oh, wait a minute. You guys gonna have to take my word for it. We're gonna do the same thing with the potash and stuff over there, but it's gonna take quite a bit of time to get that done. because I got to back it over there, and we're going to put it all on this video. And it's basically, we do the same exact thing. You take that fertilizer out, measure it, and we'll put the pounds per acre. But we're coming out really close now on getting it. The other day, we had trouble with the first time we used it, we had these not lining up with this over here. Can you see that, Lisa? You might have to get more than an angle.
I'm trying.
Okay, well, we had all this stuff.
You mean the circly thing?
Yeah, the pipes here.
Yeah.
Basically, that comes down into there. And what had happened is these slots was moved. So I had to take these bolts and we pry on it with a crowbar and get it moved in the right direction. So these would line up with that. And that's what we did. And being on that. So we probably, as of right now, we ran over 120 some acres with that. And I want to take that phone here from you and just let people see what it looks like up in the top here.
Okay.
Okay, forgive me everybody, I don't know how that looks when you hand it over. But right here is the metering rolls with the alfalfa seed in it. And then it gets divided up, and then these other ones is the same thing. There's an apron under here on both sides. And I'm going to get up here and show you the box and try to climb up in here somehow. Okay, this is where we dump the alfalfa seed, or the dry carbon is in here. And then over here you can see the box as well with the apron in it. There's our left apron and right apron, and they can run independently. So we don't have to spread any fertilizer out on the highway. They get an even coverage. And we can shut one side off if we don't have to overlap and waste any. It could work on point fields as well, and we do have a lot of point fields. So we got this side and that side. The screen keeps these chunks out of the fertilizer so it don't choke up. And so that's basically what I'm trying to show here. And I just didn't want to carry these open bags up the ladder and fall down, because the alfalfa seed is over $5 a pound, 50 pounds of the bag. Like I said, over $5. Some of it's might be even higher. I didn't look at the bill. It's best that you don't look at the bills until after you sow it. And once you see it's up, you think, well, it's worth it. So that's the way I'm going to look at that. That's the way I'm going to sell it. And I'm going right back down here, being on it. So the dry carbon is 10 pounds to an acre. And
Want me to have it?
yeah, you can have it. And then I got these two bags to go up there.
Oh no.
And this is how I do it. I think the Peterson Farms has got a song or something. This is how we do it, how we feed the cows. Pretty good fun video that Peterson people do. They look like working class people, so I'm gonna advertise their video. One lonely farmer. I got scared because Wesley Pandy, you know, we talked about Wesley Pandy,
Yeah.
came on, got a ripper.
Right. New Jersey guy.
He bought a new line spreader, an old spreader, and he was spreading lime. He went through a waterway, and he lost a wheel. It broke off. Before you know it, he broke another wheel off on the same side, and he tipped the whole thing completely over. And I need not to cuss, but you know what? Shit happens to all of us. But I've been telling my son to be careful because I don't want to break a wheel off of this thing.
No.
And what have you, being on it. So if people know that there's washouts in their field and we're working for you, our tile holes that's uncovered, and we're working for you, downtime here is critical, not only for your life, but ours. These videos of being stuck, busted, and broke is not fun. And it's also can be very dangerous. And people have been killed turning over in ditches and different things like that. Now this is my extra bag, and I'm not dumping it in, but if I need it, it's here. I'm putting it underneath the screen, and then I can unroll that part of it. So as you can see, it takes a little bit of time, a lot of planning to make these fields work. And I'm really thankful for Ryan Hardy that helped sell me this from Heartland, because I told him what I wanted and I trusted the man, and he turned out really great on selling this machine because I didn't have the time or the money to go up there and look at it. And he said he'd look at it. He said, I won't sell you a machine, it won't work. And this thing has been working very well for us, and I'm very pleased. It's not that every day you can meet somebody on a telephone or online and find a great person that would help you out on it. He wasn't pushy like one salesman was, and he saved us a tremendous amount of money. And it just common sense people out there, they do work. And I want to say thank you to him because this is making a big difference to our operation. But we're taking chances every day. The weather is our biggest chance, and so I want to kind of call this a wrap on this, and that'll be it for these presentations. Now, if anybody likes these, what do you got to do?
Subscribe
to me on this, because we're kind of running out of time to do this. This is more of a documentary here for Farmers and Merchants Seed to sell this here. We need to get this machine out in the field here to top dress corn. The corn's been planted, a lot of corn's been planted. I see it coming up in the rows. So another week, 2 weeks, 10 days from now, 20 days from now, we're going to have this machine running in the fields doing custom work. So this is the one way to pay for my son going to college. He's planning on being a mechanic. And it's another way for him to learn how to work on this stuff. He's pretty sharp on the computers. And so he's teaching me how to push the buttons, and I'm teaching him how to push the shovel. I don't know which one is working out the best here. We both got little pushes that needs to be pushed in the right direction. So he rolls his eyes up when I say what, and he complains when I say, well, you need to do this now, you know. And so anyhow, thank you all for your time for watching this. I hope you get something out of it. The cheapest thing that you could do to put out alfalfa seed in my 40 years of experience, and I'm not trying just to sell this, but Alforex alfalfa seed, I've been with them for 20 years. I've been with Doug Bashan for over 15. This is an old company. It's been bought out and sold several times, the names and that, but the real people behind this company is still there, and that's why I sell it. It is not the cheapest alfalfa, it's the best alfalfa. Now somebody will say somebody else's is better, and that's okay too, but I'm happy with this, and it's important to buy something that you can trust. And I trust Alforex on my farm.
Upside down.
Huh?
Your bag's upside down.
My bag is upside down? Well, you know, the reason for that, Lisa...
Oh, we don't want to spill any that's left in the bottom.
No, that's why I didn't tip it over. Then I would have dropped $5 on the ground. The reason it's up there, it says, see this here? It says, to easy open, you pull that string off. Yeah. Well, that's on the bottom. And normally most people pick up the top so it wouldn't fall out, which I didn't.
Oh.
And so now we get the Alforex part of it. So yeah, I might be upside down on Alforex, but it grows right side up. Hey, I just thought of that. It's a new sales pitch.
That's good.
Hey, you know you got to be on your feet and kind of be witty. I always read in the Bible it's more important to be wise than smart. And you know, all these smart people that's running our government, trying to start wars over in other countries and starving people and killing innocent women and children and blowing up hospitals. And we got farmers over there, and I want to say, what is the name of that?
You mean Ukraine?
Ukraine. It's wearing bulletproof vests, being shot at in their tractors. And these guys are out here farming. We shouldn't have to be dodging bullets yet. So please pray for all these people out there. And hopefully we can grow better tomorrow. Thank you.